Hello and welcome to GrindslimeTV with me, your host Aaron. And today we're heading over to Australia, where we're going to be checking out some Death Doom in the form of Carcinoid and their album Metastatic Declination. Was that right? Yeah. You know what I'm like for names and stuff? Absolutely terrible. And I always, yeah, it doesn't matter. But wicked artwork on the go there. Let me tell you, straight out the gate, this is an absolutely banging record as well. Really, really good stuff. For me, when I listen to it, it kind of reminds me of like maybe a mix between the sort of like demo era Autopsy meets demo era Mortician, and then peppered with a little bit of like black goodness on top. Black pepper, you could say. So, on the inside, which is quite funny, you'll find out why in a second, is you got your lyrics and whatnot, and for a good drinking game, you can take a shot every time the singer uses the word inside, hence why I giggled a moment ago. But I'm just teasing, of course. This is an absolutely wicked record. I love everything about this. You get your extra stuff there. You got a picture of the boys and girls in the back there as well, hanging out in a graveyard, loitering, I'm sure. But yeah, what's great about this is that you get the 8 tracks that are the album, and then you get an extra 3 songs, which is their demo from 2018. This came out the year after, I believe, 2019. Let's the quick maths again that we've talked about before. Oh, there they are, look, in the graveyard again, leaving, now that they know we've cottoned onto them. So, yeah, these kids, they never last. It's in the black back tray as well, which is always nice around here, as you know. So I know, looking at it, a lot of you might think, oh, it's just going to be some more sort of like, you know, Beherit and Arch Goat, more Bosa Dad sort of worship. But no, really, really cool stuff. It knows when to go fast. It knows when to go slow. Now, I'm a huge fan of Death Doom, and this is definitely up there in some of the albums that I really, really do think everybody needs to sort of check out. And even though it's one from more recent years, I still think this has got it's got that sort of classic kind of sound to it that sort of stands up organically. You know, it doesn't feel as though it was too forced. It just comes across quite natural, which I think is absolutely fantastic. We've got the old and we've got the mix down just right as well. I tell you, everything cuts through, but what I like is that it's got the one guitar track, which I think is slightly off to the right, and then it's got the bass, I think, which is slightly off to the left, drums and vocals. That's it. You know, if the old what's his face wants to do himself a solo, you've got the old clonkety clonk going on in the background, and the bass, I'm really pleased the bass cuts through on this, because I think the bass is so important on Death Doom. And I've heard some bands here and there where it's just like, come on, you know, you're depending on your guitars for the lows, which is fine, that can work. But you know, when it works with the bass as well, it's so much more. A lot of the time I hear some of these bands and I think, why do you even have a bass player? With these guys, it makes absolute sense. Absolutely, really fantastic shit. I really, really like the sound. I've always been dead impressed with this, and every time I put it on, I'm always like, oh shit, I forget how good it is, even though I know how good it is. But yeah, it's put out by Momento Mori. They have got a follow-up to this, which was an EP, but for me personally, I'm not really a fan of the EP. It had a bit more of a sort of contemporary sound. I think they brought in like a second guitarist, so I think they started experimenting with more sort of chugging style here and there. And you know, it's not a bad EP. It's fine. It's still death metal, but it's just, I don't know, it just had a bit of a trendy feel to it, if you know what I mean. But judge for yourselves. You know, I think the EP's on YouTube and Spotify. This was on Spotify, isn't anymore for some reason. Maybe the band don't like it anymore. Maybe that's the new direction they're going in. I don't know. But this whole thing is up on YouTube. You get an hour's worth of music, well, just over. And yeah, it doesn't feel like an hour's gone past at all. It's a really, really great record. A lot of variation. You know, you've got your blast beats, you've got your little gallops here and there, but for the most part, it's just crushing mid-pace to slow sort of death doom the way you want it to be.